Hey, Dan here. I'm here to share with you my dynamic warm-up. So this is the warm-up I do before just about every training session. Now it's changed, it's grown, it's evolved over the years as I pick up different injuries, different niggles. I'm going to show you the whole thing, which it's pretty long, so it depends how much time I have. I don't always have time to do all of this stuff, but let's say it's a weekend, I haven't got much going on, then this is what I'll do. It started out being based on Joe DeFranco's Agile 8. So if you have a moment, look it up. Joe DeFranco Agile 8. He is an awesome strength and conditioning coach. So that's kind of what got me started with it. So yeah, check it out. It's lots of mobility stuff. It just gets everything nimble. So I'm ready to go. Have a look. Let me just mention that this is all on fast forward, by the way, so it doesn't take too long to watch the whole thing. So this is my shoulder warm-up. I start with band pull-aparts. I do 10 of those. I'm going to go into over and backs, or sometimes called shoulder dislocations. It's another 10, and then I'm going to go into another set of underhand band pull-aparts. So that's the little shoulder routine I do. I'll do that routine anything from 1 to 5 times, depending how tight my shoulders are feeling on a particular day. Let me add the mini band I'm using. It's not very high resistance. I don't need it. I'm just trying to activate the little shoulder muscles. So that's partial push-ups. It's not a full range of movement. I'm just focusing on the chest and shoulders, driving blood in. Those are scapular compressions. I'm pushing the shoulder blades together and apart. And now we're going to go into Y handcuffs. Notice the thumbs pointing up as the hands are in front of me. So it's forming a Y shape with my arms before going back behind my back like I'm being handcuffed. It's a good shoulder mobility exercise again. That's 10 of those. I should mention the scapular compressions beforehand was 15. Okay, it's pumping a few more push-ups out. I'm now going into bird dog. That's 10 on each side. So it's just opposite arm, opposite leg, straight out in front. Again, that's activating the glutes, hamstrings, posterior muscles, as well as again the shoulder muscles stretching out as I have to raise that arm out in front of me. I'm now rolling onto my back. I'm doing alternate leg raises, keeping my legs fairly straight, dynamically stretching the hamstrings. I'm now going into windscreen wipers. There it is. My legs are almost straight, but you don't have to do it with straight legs. If you're more comfortable, you can do it with your knees bent. I often get a few good back clicks out of that one. I'm now going to go into bridges. Sometimes I do these with my hands down, like so. Other times I'll do it just on my head, so it's more activating my neck muscles. Now rolling up, I'm doing glute stretch number 1. I get really tight glutes, so I stretch my glutes out a few times in this warm-up. So a few more push-ups again, get the blood pumping, and I go into groin stretches. So it's a straddle, one leg out, foot flat on the side, toes facing up, other leg, foot flat on the side, toes facing up. I'm now going into glute stretch number 2. It's a different glute stretch. Hip flexor stretch into a hamstring stretch. This is on fast forward, I remind you, but still I'm not holding stretches for very long. This is just dynamic, just trying to get the movement and the mobility going quite quickly. So that's me doing the quad stretches into glute stretch number 3. That's the same as the first glute stretch I did after the bridges. Next one, we're doing V-sits into rollovers. I'm trying to touch my feet behind my head as I roll back, and rolling forwards I'm reaching as far as I can, legs nice and wide, stretching out my back, my neck, and it's also stretching out my groin. It's 10 of those I'm doing. Throwing a few more windscreen wipers in there. Right, next one is fire hydrants. I'm just doing little circles with my leg. I'll do 10 circles one way, 10 circles the other way, and then I switch legs and do the same on the other side. Some people prefer to do fire hydrants with a fuller range of motion, really kicking the leg back and extending the leg right back. Me, I find doing them this way personally, it just targets the glutes in particular, which is what I'm focusing on. These are mountain climbers. Notice the foot comes flat on the floor in front each time. Heel flat on the floor, other leg kicks right back. This is to stretch out, this is for mobility, not your classic mountain climbers. So it was 20 of those in total. Into groiners, which is like a wide squat thrust, each time coming forward into a sumo squat. So again, nice and wide, heels flat on the floor, getting a good groin stretch. It's 10 groiners, and then you see I'm holding the last one for 10 seconds. You can see me looking up at the clock there, checking the time. And there we go. Right, Cossack squats. Going back and forth, this is 10 on each side. Again, this is just more hip mobility stuff. Go. Now I'm going into sumo squats, followed by a toe touch. Now I like to additionally open up my arms up after each squat, as you see there. That's just to get an additional chest and shoulder stretch as well with each squat. I'm going to do 10 of those, and on the last one you'll see me again. I go down and I just hold the squat position for another 10 seconds or so. Finish up, and yeah, there we go. So again, you see me looking up at the clock there, timing myself. Right, hip flexors again into a hamstring stretch. I just do 3 on each side, followed by groin stretches to finish off. We go, switch to the side, back to the middle, switch to the other side, back to the middle, and I'll do this one more time. So after this, my hip flexors, my groin, everything just feels like really nimble, nice and loose, and now I'm ready to go. There it is, that's just a summary of it. So this routine I will generally do before every workout, depending on how much time I have. If I'm short of time, I might not be able to manage all of that. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for watching, and you'll hear from me next video.